Hello and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosley. We will be joined in just a moment by Deena Pace and Debbie Torbett. But before we go into that, it's right, it's time for Mike's Pet Peeves. Now, this is merely my opinion and not the opinion of the board, Deena, Debbie, or anybody important. It's just kind of me talking to you. What I can't stand is people that make driving look harder than it really is. I mean, there's a gas pedal and there's a steering wheel, maybe a shifter, brake pedal. 4 requirements generally to drive a car. The other day I was driving and this lady in front of me, this person in front of me swerved several times in a 3-mile range. So after the almost second head-on collision, I blinked and got this lady to pull over. I thought it was a medical issue. So as I'm walking up to the vehicle, I'm like, ma'am, do I need to call 911? Her response to me was, my eyes hurt and I can't see, so I'm looking for my eye drops. Maybe you shouldn't do any of those 3 while doing 65 miles an hour. Or how about the person that actually believes 6 inches closer to the steering wheel is going to make them drive better for some reason? Look, there's things in life that I don't get to do anymore. When I was younger, I did them all the time. Maybe it's time to pass up driving. I loved back handsprings. I do not do back handsprings anymore. In fact, my back hurts just thinking about saying the words back handsprings. Give it up. I don't know. Find another co-pilot driver, something. What I hate more than that is really this COVID-19 stuff. I cannot stand it. It ruined our 50th anniversary party. And I'm upset about it. And really, there's not much more to say about that other than I'm upset about it. We had a lot of fun planned. We were gonna do some cooking. We were gonna do the shelter tours. You had your staff all set up and trained, and
a lot of work went into that, Mike.
Yeah.
As you know, you were on the committee planning it. A lot of planning, a lot of work outside. We had great volunteers that came and helped us clean up the outside. We had volunteers led by Dennis, who's a volunteer, paint and fix so much on the inside. So for us to have to postpone that, it was a very hard decision. But as you know, it was morally the right decision.
Yes.
With the cases going up.
Yes.
You know?
With the increase that Arizona had seen at that moment. And unfortunately, the 4th of July parade is not going on. That was another big help for the Humane Society.
Yeah.
So now more than ever, please help the Humane Society any way you can, whether that's a monetary donation or whether that's your time.
Yes.
And speaking of time, would you ladies like to elaborate on some ways to give time?
Absolutely. Debbie?
So on the shelter aspect of volunteering, we, because of COVID-19, haven't had a lot of volunteers coming out to walk the dogs.
Right.
And I can assure everyone that we are doing our due diligence by stepping up, extra cleaning, door handles, everything like that, so that we're ready for new clients or volunteers or whomever to come in. So we have taken a hit on volunteers at the shelter. Doghouse, I'm sure, has also taken a hit on volunteers not coming out. And it's really hard on the staff because we're having to
pick up the slack.
extra,
and
you know, so it's,
let's face it,
it's a
you're
lot harder.
Short-staffed.
We are short-staffed as it is.
Right.
So
and you know, volunteers do more than just walk the dogs. They help us with paperwork. They help us. Our biggest fundraiser coming up. We can't do Happy Tails without volunteers.
No.
You know, and so the volunteers for Happy Tails, they sell raffle tickets, they collect donations, they help the day of the event, you know, they help sorting and processing things. So there's so many opportunities for volunteers. as far as fundraising goes, socializing animals, helping at our thrift shop. I mean, it's really and truly, and we used volunteers. Everyone should have their most latest newsletter from us.
Yes.
Volunteers put that together.
Oh,
You know,
right.
They put it together, get it all ready, and we take it to the post office and mail it. So volunteers, one of the things that I always say is one of the greatest things you can give to a nonprofit is of your time and yourself, your skills.
Right.
You know, and you know, we just have so much because of the COVID-19 that has had to either been canceled, postponed, like the 4th of July, actually, we do a Strut Your Mutt with best friends. This is a walk that people pledge, and this is at the end of October. In March, they already canceled that. Last year, that brought $4,500 for these homeless animals.
Wow.
You know, so everything we do as far as that kind of stuff is what helps us to be able to support the animals.
Right.
And when everything, because of COVID, nobody's fault.
Nope.
We're all trying to learn to live with it.
Right.
But because of that, you know, our animals are the ones that suffer. Our doghouse had to close for 5 weeks.
Yep.
You know, and so, yeah, monetary donations would be really good to be able to have right now. It's just a constant battle of where we're sitting okay right this minute, but what happens going forward? What happens? Let's just say a terrible thing happened and we can't do any more fundraising this year.
Let's face it, we're sadly in the middle of fire season.
Yes.
I mean, and I know the Humane Society has procedures ready to go if something unforeseen happens.
Yes.
But that's another monetary expense.
Yes.
Well, and also with the volunteers with that as well.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 4 years ago we got evacuated. We voluntarily left because they said if it was an evacuation, we weren't guaranteed to get all of our animals out, and that wasn't an option.
Right.
So we counted on volunteers to help us we moved 92 animals in 3 hours.
We were at the location we were going in 3 hours from the time we started loading animals at the shelter.
And that was thanks to our volunteers who were able to help us relocate those animals.
Well, you touched on the volunteers of Happy Tails.
Yes.
I want to say that last year, for some reason, a number that floats around my head was there was some 127 volunteers or something.
110 to 130 volunteers last year that helped make this event happen.
That's a lot of manpower.
It takes so much manpower. If anyone's ever been to Happy Tails, you'll see the manpower it takes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And we are really hoping we can count on them to help us make this happen again this year.
So reach out to the Humane Society, reach out to Deena. Our volunteer coordinator is who?
Deborah Thompson is our volunteer coordinator. Terry Bankert is my co-chair and dealing with all the volunteers right now for Happy Tails.
So there are some names that we've dropped. Get in contact with one of those 3 ladies and find a way to donate. The beautiful thing, even with this COVID-19, we did do a cleanup there at the shelter. I would like everyone to know I had a weed eater, and no one came within 6 feet of me the whole time I held that weed eater. I felt very COVID safe.
I watched you slinging that weed eater. No one was coming any closer to you, Mike.
So there's plenty of ways to donate your time.
Right.
Even though we're in this scenario.
Absolutely.
There's ways to be safe. I know all of your staff has available masks when they're interacting with the public and whatnot.
So, you know, let's just touch on that just a little bit. So, at this point, very rarely do you see anyone wearing their mask at the shelter. First of all, the shelter is probably almost as clean as potentially maybe a hospital.
Yeah.
All the cleaning that goes on there nonstop, every day, all day.
Right.
You know. Second of all, I personally tried an experiment a while back when I did it, what we call a tour. Some people came in and wanted to look at the dogs. And the couple had on a mask. And I had my mask. We always have them in our pocket ready to put on at any time. And I had my mask, and I started into the dog section, and all the dogs were excited to see me and were nice and behaved.
Could not hear you.
I put on my mask, and all the dogs freaked out. So us that are caring for these dogs all the time, it's scaring the dogs if they see us in a mask. Because they're like,
Right.
you know,
Who are you?
yeah,
Right.
who are you? What are you doing? You know, yeah.
I know sometimes my hat or sunglasses can
Absolutely.
affect a dog that I know.
Yes, if they've been traumatized by somebody maybe that had a hat or sunglasses on. And really, if you watch the body language of the animals, you can learn quite a bit and speculate what their history really is, even though we don't know it for sure.
Right.
So, but that mask, for whatever reason, every dog on that line, so I immediately took it off and they settled down again.
I would actually think the mask would muffle you so much that you would not be able to hear you over all of the dogs.
Yep, that too.
Because I mean, we've been in there together and you used your not so quiet voice to communicate normally. I mean, it's loud in there.
Because they're loud. Yeah.
It's loud in there.
Yeah. So, but no, we definitely, you know, are doing the social distancing, the sanitizing, everything's safe out there. We feel it's as safe as we can humanly make it.
You do that for other reasons, and you've been doing that for many reasons for a very long time. Why would anything change now? That's the way I see it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, but volunteers have so many opportunities with us. You know, sometimes we get these scared animals in, and if you can no longer say walk them, you know, we really encourage them to go into one of our quiet rooms. Believe it or not, we do have a quiet room or two over there.
That is the one room I haven't seen.
Yes, it is. We'll show that to you.
Okay, please. Can we have board meetings in there?
It's kind of padded. You'll know which room it is. But anyway, we encourage, you know, the volunteers that can spend time with them to bring a book and sit and read out loud. And the animal may not come anywhere near you, but they're getting used to a voice.
Right.
They're getting used to being in the same room with you.
And coming from a very possibly traumatized situation, that comforting may just really be the help they need.
Absolutely. And one of our volunteers that does that all summer long, he said to me one day, "You do know they're not listening to me, right?" And I said, "You do know I've been watching you, and when you quit reading, they look at you like, now what are you doing?" You know, so they are they're hearing you.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
And this guy, Frank, has taken some that were very scared and got them in his lap and made them very loving and helped get them adopted. So there's always things for volunteers to do. Weed eat, that needs to be done on a regular thing.
Yes, it does.
Raking, oh my goodness, the pine needles to help keep us fire safe.
Right. So you've got many skills. I don't know what they are, but you do. So find a good skill and find a way that the Humane Society can utilize that skill. I almost promise you they need that skill. That is, unless you're a trapeze artist, which I cannot figure any reason for trapeze.
We could
that
come up
can
with
be enrichment for the dogs.
that very well could be.
I can find
This
something
is
for
what
everyone.
she's manager enrichment. I love it.
We'll be back in just a couple more moments with more of Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society. And welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain. I'm your host, Mike Bosley. Joining us, Deena and Debbie. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
So let's talk a little bit about the Doghouse thrift shop. Now,
Yes.
you had touched on that last segment and how, unfortunately, due to COVID-19, they closed for 5 weeks.
Yes.
And that took a big hit to the dog, you know, to the society
monetary.
in total. That being said, the place looks amazing. The floors are gorgeous. The rooms aren't cluttered. Yes, there's tons of stuff in there, you know, all the little back hidden rooms, but it looks really well lit in there. It's not like a dungeon in the back of a barn. That being said, there are lots of cassette decks that I don't know how many more cassette decks people are buying these days and age. But there was tools, there was printers, there was humidifiers, there was, I mean, it's amazing the kind of stuff they have on there.
You know, really, it is. And first of all, let's make sure everyone understands that everything is donated.
Oh, yeah.
So 100% of all those sales come right back to the shelter every day
Right.
to support those animals. So they're very organized. We go from books to clothing to do it yourself, like you said, and tools. And,
Right.
you know, we'll have doors, we'll have ceiling fans, we'll have light fixtures.
It was everything.
Craft items. And
right.
There's golf balls, there's golf clubs, there's baseballs. I mean, you name it, I think we have it.
I agree with you. I tried to think of something, and every time I thought of something, I found what I was looking for.
Right, and if you don't see it, definitely ask, because they may have it in the back somewhere that you just haven't discovered yet. Because a lot of people, when they first come in, just think that the store that they walk into is all there is to us.
Oh, right, no.
You know, they don't know to go outside and go shopping in the outside part and up into the barn where the furniture and the, you know, appliances, you know, small appliances
little
and
Christmas
stuff are.
nook back in there.
They've got a full-time Christmas room there.
Right.
Yeah, so it's amazing. And what's really nice about that place is, like I say, all the proceeds do come over to the shelter, but it's run on donations from our community. And it's, you know, and we have very little staff over there, but we have volunteers. There again, volunteers.
Exactly right.
You know, we can never appreciate our volunteers enough, because without them, we can't make this happen.
Right.
You know,
It takes a community.
It does. You know, staff and volunteers and all the donors and everything. This is one big family making this happen for these homeless animals. And we need to continue to make this happen. You know, just because things are happening in our outside world that we're out of control with.
Right.
We have, you know, and that's the thing with this COVID, Mike. And that's the hardest thing to do, is accept that we are powerless over it. You know, and it's going to affect things. It's going to affect our animals. It's going to affect our business that supports the animals. And it's very scary.
Yes.
As you know, it's very scary for us that worry how we're going to continue to support these animals. You know, if, you know, we really, really wanted to share with the community the 50 years of being part of this community. And that's why we did postpone it, because we are part of this community.
Right.
And the way things were going, we needed to protect our community.
Yes.
To the best of our ability. And we will do it. You know, when, we don't know.
Right.
But we need to get everyone through this. And like I say, right now we're focusing on Happy Tails. And the Doghouse is a very big part of that too at Happy Tails. You know, so let's just say what Happy Tails does do.
Okay.
And there again, let's just first of all say everything is donated.
Yes, it is.
It is donated from businesses, from individuals. And so again, everything that is auctioned that day at Happy Tails, which is August 29th in the orchards, all that money, 100% comes to the animals. You know, so we will have a barbecue, we'll have a live auction, a silent auction, we have blitz auctions, we have raffle baskets, and our Doghouse has a general store.
Right.
You know, so both places are closed that day, and we do adoptions. A lot of adoptions. A lot of adoptions.
It's a very happy day, though.
Yes,
very happy day with all those adoptions.
It's probably my favorite day of the year.
Really?
Yeah, it's like,
can you see the
like
twinkle? This is her Christmas. Happy Tails is her Christmas. It really is. And when she first told me that a few years ago, I'm like, she's kidding, right? Because there's so much work that goes into this. And I'm watching her and I'm going, she's serious. She is like a kid on Christmas morning when it comes to Happy Tails Day.
I love it.
She does. So, you know, and that's why it's so important that people continue to know we're here. We're here for our community, but we also need the community to be here for us.
Right.
You know?
And this is...
And what a great volunteer opportunity right now. If you've never volunteered to help at Happy Tails, why not now?
Come see what it's all about, volunteer, and then next year you can be prepared to buy everything, because that's what I am tempted to do every year, as it is.
Well, you're going to be kind of busy.
I am going to be busy this year.
Just give me your card, and we'll get you.
Or me.
Right.
Debbie will
right.
I'm
pretty sure Adrienne Talon can handle
She'll
emptying
put
my
you on
bank
a limit,
account.
though. Let's be honest here.
Yes,
So,
she
but
will.
it's such a fun time there, and like I say, that's a big part of our Doghouse too, is because, you know, they're there with their general store. This isn't their thrift shop stuff. This is stuff that's been donated for Happy Tails.
Okay.
So they have the same things. Actually, it's an overflow from silent auction goes over to our Doghouse general store.
Oh, wow.
So
okay. So once again, what is a way to contact you, Deborah, or Terry?
You know, call out to the shelter, 928-368-5295. You can email at volunteer@hswm.org.
Good job. Good job.
And so just, or come out. The shelter of our organization is open Tuesdays through Friday from 10:30 to 5 and Saturdays 10 to 5.
Okay.
So, and you know, I got to tell you, we've got such cute animals out there. Oh my goodness, we've been inundated with kittens this year.
And puppies.
And puppies. So
Lots of kittens and puppies. Lots of cuteness. Oh boy.
so much cuteness. There is so much cuteness. And you know, we spay and neuter everything because that's what we are all about.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but we can't help but fall in love every time we get all these little bitty things, you know? So it's just an amazing place to be.
What's a way that people could check out some of the dogs for adoption from their home if they're COVID?
We have our website. It's hswm.org, and you can just click on the adoptions tab, and it'll bring up all of our cats that are available, and then the dogs are underneath.
Okay.
And then for anybody who doesn't, I mean, we have the newspaper where we do a little.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're in the newspaper. It's just underneath the classifieds.
Okay.
And then there's 3 different shelters, and we're in the center.
Okay.
So we have 8 animals on there.
You've also been doing a lot of Facebook Lives
I have
recently.
been doing
You
a lot
have
of
become
Facebook
quite
Live.
your own movie star.
She is great at it.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. So if you haven't checked that out, head over to the Humane Society's Facebook page and check out some of the fun that Debbie has with her staff and the animals over the past pandemic.
It is pretty fun, actually.
And you know, I think, and don't hold us to this, but I think that they may be going to do our own 4th of July parade Facebook Live.
We're hoping to do
At the shelter
do
with the animals.
a 4th of July parade at the shelter with the animals.
Okay.
So that's what we're hoping to do. We're going to dress them up, and it'll be pretty fun.
I'm
We
all
can't
for
be
it.
here in Sholo for the 4th of July parade this year because of COVID.
Right.
So why not
So we're
do
going to
it
go
there?
around the
Go around.
property.
Walking trail.
There you go. That will be fun. That will be fun.
So,
Get them all 4th of July'd out and ready to go. I am not bathing the glitter dogs. That's
You're not?
No, no, nah.
Okay. Well,
I'll be on the other volunteer list.
so, you know, and sometimes too, we have, we did a week of critter camp, and then we are postponed the other week because, again, the spike in the state of the COVID. And, but let me tell you, next summer, if you've never had your child in critter camp, and no, he's not old enough, and neither is yours, as you know, but these kids have a great time.
What is critter camp exactly? Like, what do they learn in critter camp?
They are learning proper animal care.
Okay.
They are learning the importance of spaying and neutering.
Okay.
And, you know, the vaccinations. And they also, my favorite part is their reading part every day, where they take over their little cushions that are padded and they sit in front of the kennel and they read. So, and
That
you
is
know,
a lot of fun.
Not only is that, and believe it or not, as you mentioned, how loud it can get in there, all the dogs quiet down because they want to know what's going on. And it's so cute because they'll turn it around and they'll show the dog the picture then. And it's just,
I actually
and the
looked
cats-
in there the other day because I was like, why are these guys being so quiet?
and
then I saw the kids in there. I said, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And you know, really too, it helps the child because it gives them the opportunity to be able to feel good about their reading skills,
Right.
you know, and if they don't know how to read, they can look at that picture and make up a story. So they're using their minds.
Right.
So this is very enriching for both animals and the child.
That sounds like I will need to sign talent up for critter camp in 3 years. What is the age group for critter camp? 7. It'll be a little longer than 3 years.
Me
And then
too.
one of their favorite parts too, and they learn how to properly walk dogs and cats and all that. And then once they've been coming for a while, we call them our alumni group. They get to come back and they help with different chores.
Oh,
They may
right.
even help do some cleaning or watch the vaccinations or the safer testing that goes on with the animals and stuff like that. And that's after they've been there for a few years and they have some age and stuff to them. And then they may help with the laundry and the dishes so that they know that they're truly contributing to helping these
To
animals.
helping the
Yeah,
society.
and one of their favorite part always is the Crawdad Fishing Day.
Crawdad Fishing Day is part of critter camp.
Yes.
Okay.
Has always been, will always be, because that is usually the kids' favorite part is, you know, or one of them is the crawdad fishing.
I can't imagine as a kid, I mean, the amount of joy I got digging through the mud in the creek looking for crawdads.
Well, one gal, she caught a catfish, and it was her first time ever catching a fish. So that has to be pretty memorable for her.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so you know what happens with these critter camp kids is they're learning the importance of taking care of animals. And they're learning because the people that put it on are volunteers. And they're learning that someday, hey, this is the place I want to spend my time with.
Right.
And someday my kids are going to come out here.
Well, it's always nice. Yes, volunteering is great, but it's always nice to see that immediate reward that you do get from the animal and the time that you have donated to the Humane Society.
Yeah.
So real quick, everyone, just wanted to remind you some of the services that we do at the Humane Society.
Do.
We got a lot of that.
Yes, volunteering and the walking and poop scooping. There's lots to do. But also, we do microchipping.
Yes.
So real quick, tell us that in 30 seconds.
Okay, so microchipping is $20, no appointment necessary.
Nope.
Come in when we are open, which is Tuesday through Friday, 10:30 to 5, Saturdays 10 to 5. We will get you microchipped. Register it for you. If you move or change your phone number, you need to call the microchip company and update it.
But you do all the work.
We do all of it.
25?
$20.
$20.
Yep.
And we register it for you.
And just so you know, to get your name personalized at a dog store, one of those plates is like $30.
No surprise.
So,
and we spay and neuter animals too. We have a clinic.
Okay.
So call the shelter, 368-5295. You can make an appointment for that.
So there you go. We do spayed, neutering, as well as microchipping. Make sure, head over to the Facebook page. Check out all the fun, as well as the do. I'm just having a bad day. As well as the upcoming 4th of July Strut Your Mutt Humane Society style.
There you go.
We'll see you next month. Happy July, everyone.